So I'm happy to be here today for your health talk. I'm actually going to repeat this on Facebook, being as though I don't see anybody here. So that means that I guess people are didn't have any questions, or maybe we have some problems here with YouTube and people aren't able to come in. I do see people coming and then I don't see them anymore. So I don't know what is going on, but I hope it's not causing any of a hassle in any event. Again, I'm Dr. Luella Ayoka, and I wanted to share some health tips for you for the Super Bowl. I just asked around to see what we could tackle, and I have so many different ideas because I don't know about you, but I like the Super Bowl. And I think that I know everybody's not a football fan and everybody's not a sports fan. So maybe you don't like football, but maybe you like boxing. Maybe you don't like boxing. Maybe you are the basketball fan. Or maybe you don't like basketball. Maybe you like golf. Maybe you don't like golf. Maybe you like hockey. So, of course, there are a lot of different sports out here, and you choose your pick. Some people like rugby, some people like bowling. There's like different kinds of sports now. We got like cornhole, and I even saw the board that you use, the shuffleboard, and so many different types of ways you can move and you can get in shape and you can play games together. So maybe you just may not be in the Super Bowl and football is just not your thing. Okay, not a problem. You still can be a part of this and it still could help you. And I'm just going to tell you that I absolutely like the Super Bowl concept. Why? A lot of camaraderie. And people are it's a great opportunity to get together and get people together. A great opportunity if you don't have a good social outlet. It's a great opportunity to make one and create one, which helps a lot with times where you feel like nobody cares, or you're feeling lonely, or you're feeling down, or sad, or depressed, anxious. So I think it's a great concept. And one of the things I like, and I wanted to say this before I even get started on some of the things I say, if you're religious, or not just religious, I know some people basically follow Christ, follow your other different beliefs, and you have a belief system. So I know what I think, but one of the things I want you to know that when it comes to medicine, it's a universal language. It's a universal uh, concept that everyone can participate in. So if you have certain beliefs and maybe I say something that doesn't line with your belief, I'm just here to address everyone and to make the quality of life better for everyone, because in my opinion, God loves everybody. Everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what you are, no matter what you do, I believe that God loves everybody. So I like medicine because it brings people together just like the Super Bowl does. So it's no race, no color, no creed, no, belief system. It's just if you like football, you watch it. You're not going to be, I would say, you're not going to be penalized because you don't like football. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't want to watch it. So maybe this may not be for you. And that's understandable. But I just wanted to make you aware because I may say something or touch on some points, because I want the quality of life to be good for everybody. And some people are just not there. And one of the things I've learned in medicine and just in life in general, and you probably know this too, and I'm probably preaching to the choir, is that no matter what, people are going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So that means me. Like if I decide I want to do something, I'm going to do it. No, you know, of course, people can tell you what to do. We can give you directions. And the same thing with me, because it goes both ways, right? That people can tell me what to do, but when when everything boils down to it and the decisions that we make those decisions, and we face the consequences for our decisions. So, I just want to make sure I'm across the board and people are comfortable where they're at, meet you where you're at. And then one day, maybe you'll grow from it and learn from it and hopefully get better. And maybe your state may get to a higher level when you are ready and you make that decision. So I wanted to move on. One of the topics that really came to my mind a lot that I wanted to talk about, because one of the things that these type of gatherings and parties come bring around is alcohol. All right, alcohol, alcohol, alcohol. Drinking that beverage that has alcohol content. Now, I know there are different variations. Some people say don't drink at all. Don't drink alcohol at all. No alcoholic beverages. Some people think, oh, I'm not having a beer, so I'm having just wine. So that's not really a big deal. Some people say, okay, I don't drink wine, I drink beer, and that's all I drink, and that's not a big deal. And some people say, well, I drink scotch and I drink whiskey. And so let me tell you something. The bottom line is alcohol is alcohol. It has an alcoholic content in it. And if it does, that means no matter what, it's made up of a starch, it's a complex carbohydrate, and there will be some effects of it, whether it be more effects, whether it be less effects. So I wanted to address that because a lot of people are drinking alcohol. You're going to be together, even if you have I think what they're called, not even the high content alcoholic beverages, those kind of beverages. People are still going to drink it. Now, one thing I was so happy about is that, of course, the Super Bowl, and we got the Seattle versus the Patriots. So, Seattle Seahawks versus the Patriots. And both of those places are pretty cold, right? Seattle all the way in Washington, and then the Patriots in New England all the way up there in the New England area. And those are cool places. But the Super Bowl happens to be right in California, Santa Clara, where it's in very mild temperature. I was looking up the temperature today, it's like 60 degrees, which is pretty mild and pretty nice, which helps quite a bit because we get people out here and you want to drink a lot of alcohol, and you get really buzzed and hyper and everything. And next thing you know, shirt comes off. I see the people out there, they just having a good time and it's too cold and they hypothermia drops in. They don't know that it's happening because of course the effects are, sensory. It changes all of your sensorium. It changes your brain function. It changes how you feel, how you regulate your temperature. And next thing you know, there are complications, complications, and we starts to see you in the office and you don't understand what happened and you don't realize that the alcoholic beverages and you not wearing, the proper covering and your body now saying, I'm cold because those mechanisms have been shut down. So, because they've been compromised, right? Because you just want to have a good time and you're not really thinking at the time, you just want to have a good time, right? So it's really nice to know that it's in a milder temperature area. So that's a little bit more protection for you so that, untoward events don't happen as much. Not saying that they won't, because we do tend to see a lot of dehydration after the Super Bowl. One of the things you can guarantee, and this is the thing I wanted to tell you, eat, 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 eat. One of the things you need to know when you drink that alcoholic beverage, make sure you're eating. A lot of times people that do drink the alcoholic beverages do not eat. They do not put food in their stomach. Of course, one, because alcohol changes your taste buds. Okay, so stick my tongue either your taste buds, which everybody knows that. But if you didn't, the taste buds are on your tongue. And they are actually, we call it trained, but they are there so that you can have different feelings of texture. You can have, feelings of the different types of content and identify content. And it's almost like memory as well in your taste buds. So alcohol tends to dumb that down because of the contents that's in there, and you don't taste as well. So a lot of times you don't really have the desire for food. Also, it's filling, it's a starch. So you don't really want to eat anything technically because Just like eating a whole bunch of crackers. When you eat a couple of crackers, we say yet our stomach swells, but actually it's a filling mechanism because of the starch, because of the bulkiness. So it starts to make you feel as though you have eaten quite a bit of food in your stomach. So alcohol does that. So now you have two things working against you. One, you may not be able to taste the food, so you're like, oh, I don't care, because a lot of people don't like bland food, right? You want seasoning, you want salt, you want, pepper, you want spices, you want to taste that. So you're like, well, I don't need that because the alcohol, I can't taste it anyway. Other thing is, of course, my stomach is full. I don't even feel hungry. Oh my gosh, this is, and that's why some people do drink alcohol in the morning, and they can go throughout their day and not eat at all. So that's another thing, because it's a filling mechanism, right? And the same thing with coffee. Coffee does the same thing pretty much. Of course, the taste bud situation may not be as much in coffee, but it does cause a filling effect, and therefore people don't eat as much, right? They'll drink a cup of coffee, but they won't eat food. So think about that. And so when you're drinking your alcoholic beverage, okay, no matter what type of beverage it is, eat some food with it, okay? Go ahead and get that wing. Go ahead and get those chips and the pretzels and the crackers and the cheese and the fruits and whatever else you're making, your barbecue and that kind of thing. Some people are pretty cool. They're pretty savvy where they'll take the beer, and of course, you make your barbecue with beer and that kind of thing, to make it taste pretty good, of course. Um, and so I wanted you to realize that you should eat, which also helps. Of course, a lot of people that do drink it, you're looking for that high, you're looking for that excitement, you're looking for to want to be able to be a little loose and less, anxious, and be able to move and be able to cheer. So I just wanted to make you aware that you will take some of the effects off of it, and maybe even not have so many unwanted feelings the next day where you now are off that high and you're just feeling horrible. And the one thing people will say is that I should not have had that. I should not have done that. And you're vomiting all over and all of the different after effects for making some bad decisions, right? Or some decisions that you're just not sure how to handle. Okay. Another thing you can do, which I was thought it was an interesting fact, is that zero sugar. They do have sugarless alcoholic beverages now. And I don't know if you look into that, but of course, everybody's worried about taste, taste, taste. But one of the things you can do is you can frequent a couple of them. And any type of time where you're looking into something new that you're not sure if you're going to understand the taste, is looking into, of course, the different types. And I always say, take the taste test, because a little bit of sipping, you're like, this doesn't taste good, but this one tastes a little bit better, right? So that also helps, to some of the bad effects that you would experience. And it also helps with maintaining weight. It also helps with maintaining some of your chronic conditions. So if you're like a diabetic, right, and you're a high cholesterol person, and you want to drink an alcoholic beverage, and you're like, well, what should I drink, doc? Like, what it is? Well, of course, sugar free would be a way to go. Of course, that makes a little more sense because it's less starch, right? Because they tend to load a lot of sugar. So that's another thing. Of course, you can look into non-alcoholic beverages. Now, that would be a key. You still get the taste. Now, they have these new designs, where it's no alcohol, but it still has the taste of alcohol in it. And if you want to go on a limb, try that. That way you won't have some of the after effects, but you still want to think about the sugar content, right? You want to think about the sugar content, because then, of course, you're dealing with that. Now, I want to throw in a caveat. I want to throw in something that you probably didn't think about. Know that your doctor's office probably is closed now, because we probably are all watching the Super Bowl and getting ready for it. Okay. And some of my colleagues, we are out there drinking our own alcoholic beverages, having our own parties, right? So, in any event, I wanted to tell you, okay, to go and, well, if you have reflux, right? I was thinking about this reflux. So, if you ever heard of a condition called Borhave syndrome, okay, if you ever heard of gastrointestinal bleed, or if you've heard of esophagitis, or if you've heard of esophageal cancer, or if you heard of gastroesophageal reflux or GERD, okay? Or if you heard of heartburn, or if you heard of dyspepsia, all of these things. Now, let me tell you this, okay? You can expect, you can expect that if you don't take something. Okay, so people are taking what are called proton pump inhibitors. They're taking what we call H2 blockers. These medications, and there are other ones as well. You have, sucralfate, things that will coat your stomach, things that will protect your stomach, medications that will protect your stomach. They just come in all sizes, different shapes, and colors. Let me tell you why, because they have different ways that they act in the body. And you take them a certain way where they act in the body. Now, if you are on that and if you have been diagnosed with that, you should take extra precautions while you have your mind before you get into what you're going to do. Because let me tell you something, not only are drinking that beer, you also definitely are going to be eating something with a high salt content. Like I said, a lot of times people that drink the alcohol, they don't taste their food. So they end up putting on more seasoning so they can taste it, right? Which can, we call it burn the stomach. Now, let me tell you what that means. You probably didn't know this, and I'm going to share this. And then I'm just going to get off of here because I'm going to try to do Facebook, and we're going to do Facebook Live and see what happens there. But anyway, let me tell you this, right? The stomach and the esophagus are equivalent to skin. Did you know that? Did you know that? So when you talk about burn, very well, the alcohol can cause a burn. The chips, the salt, the seasoning can cause a burn. And when you have reflux, what happens is it's pretty much like a burn on your skin. And that thing hurts depending on how deep it is. You also probably heard of ulcers because I forgot to add that one. Okay. So in this time, before you get into everything, take your medication. Okay. Take your medicine. Make sure you are covered with that. If you have one of those conditions, it will save you a lot afterwards. It'll save you a lot of headache and frustration and irritability. There's more to it, but I'm going to go on Facebook and I'm going to share a little bit more there and I'm going to see what happens. All right. In any event, if you want to book a session with me, if this was a little helpful and you liked it, you like what you heard, no, I'm not promoting alcohol. Please do not say that I'm promoting alcohol. What I'm saying is that there are people and plenty of people. I don't care if you have a belief system or you don't, you're drinking alcohol. I know it. You're just doing it without nobody telling you. Nobody knows. Okay. What you do in secret is what you do in secret. I'm not here to judge anybody. I'm just here to help you with your quality of life. That's what doctors are doing. We are first to do no harm. So I just want you to know I'm here to help you and support you. My name is Dr. Luella Ayoka. This is My Medical Moments, Health Talk Super Bowl Frenzy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's win, whoever your team is. I am here today for a strategy for you to make sure that you get through your Super Bowl party and that you have a great, happy, healthy day. I'll see you soon. Bye.